Hi guys, how's it going? Before I start, thank you so much for taking out time to check out this video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Magnus. I'm a recruiter. I've been a recruiter for about 4 years now, with one of the largest companies out there. You can check my LinkedIn for more information on that. I recently came across a post on LinkedIn that was talking about, it was actually a post with a poll that was asking people if cover letters are still relevant these days, and I want to quickly weigh in on that. They are not wrong. Most of the people that voted, they actually said, cover letters are not important or relevant these days, and they're not wrong. But I feel like some of these people don't are not really looking at it from a recruiter perspective. They're looking at it from a job applicant perspective, and I kind of like just want to come in as a recruiter and tell you what I think, not just as a recruiter but as someone who has also had to submit applications to different companies for side gigs and a bunch of stuff that I find interesting occasionally online. So most companies hiring out there these days, they don't ask you for a cover letter. They ask you for your CV or resume, and then they also ask you for your LinkedIn URL, basically your LinkedIn profile link. With those two, they can get to see your previous experience, your skills. Some of these companies even go as far as also using that information, your LinkedIn profile and your CV and your email, to run a background check on you. And that's why most of these companies don't need your cover letter. But if you're someone who frequents gig websites like Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer.com, contra.com, all those freelance platforms, you actually need to have a cover letter, and I'm going to explain why. With Upwork, when you're trying to land a role on Upwork, or when you find a gig on Upwork and you're trying to apply, there's usually that part of the application process that would ask you to send a proposal, right? That part where you're asked to send a proposal, you can actually use your cover letter for that area. You can basically say hi, put the first couple of words that are related to the job you're applying for, and then the rest of the information you can just copy what's on your cover letter. So for example, if you're applying for the role of a social media manager, you can say, hi, or dear hiring manager, my name is this, and I am applying to this role because it's something I've done before. Excuse me. It's something I've done before, and I do have experience in this area. Then full stop. The next paragraph, you just copy everything on your cover letter and just put it there. It doesn't have to be everything, but I'm just saying, if you have a cover letter, that area is usually easier. Also, if you're applying on these gig platforms, try to take a screenshot of your portfolio, right? It could be the pages you've managed before. If you have them like on a portfolio, try to upload it there. If it's a blog post, take a screenshot of that blog post and also upload it there. So if you're applying for jobs on freelance platforms, you're going to need your cover letter, right? And even some companies out there, they still ask for your cover letter because they want to actually hear how much you've grown from when you started working and now. They want to hear how you grew a company from 200,000 users to 400,000 users and the tools you used, and stuff like that. So the verdict is, you should, or this is my advice, not a verdict, but my advice, you should actually get a cover letter. Have it, right? And it's even super easy to create one. So have one, right? Just file it there, keep it in your Google Sheets or Google Drive or something, and when you're applying to some jobs, you might want to use it. Don't join the gang of people who will tell you something like, hey, you don't need a cover letter, and all of that. You do not need a cover letter in most cases, but sometimes you actually do need a cover letter. And on platforms like LinkedIn, where there are a lot of people looking for jobs these days because of the layoffs and everything, having a cover letter kind of like just makes everything easier for you, because you have your experience and everything structured somewhere, and you can just copy stuff from your cover letter and paste it to this person on LinkedIn who you're cold emailing or reaching out to, about a gig. So just have a cover letter. Really, just have it. Don't let anyone tell you, hey, it's useless and all of that. For some companies you don't need a cover letter, but for some companies out there you do need a cover letter. The other scenario I would also like to mention is that in my experience, we've had cases where we had a lot of people who were applying to work with us, and it went beyond looking through their CV. We wanted to know if these people had experience in a particular field, right? So I'm just going to use crypto as a case study here as an example, because I don't want to go into details about my work. So if we're looking for someone who has crypto knowledge, most people's CV are not as detailed as their cover letter. When you go over their cover letter, you can hear things like, I've worked in this industry, and I've worked with this tool, and that tool. Most people do not really go into details in their CV, but when they're reaching out to you on the cover letter, they would actually go into details. So if you're searching the ATS, or if the recruiters are searching the ATS, they will most likely look for those words and see if you have a cover letter or if you added those words to your CV. And I also want to chip in real quick. This is like a good time to say it. If you are currently looking for a job, try to add your skills to your CV. So you know how to use Microsoft Office, you know how to use OneDrive, you know how to use this tool and that tool. Try to add those to your CV. So if you worked at a company as a HR manager using this tool, that tool, and this tool, mention it in your CV. Don't say, as a HR manager, I managed the daily task of the company, I filed salaries, I handled payroll. That's boring, right? I mean, that's what most HR managers do, right? Payroll managers and all of that, that's what they do. So be more specific. Talk about how you worked with this tool. Talk about how you filed salaries with this particular tool, and stuff like that. So be more specific when you're looking for jobs. And I feel like I'm digressing at this point. Don't throw away the idea that cover letters are no longer a thing. For most companies they are no longer a thing, but for some companies out there, they are still a thing. And some companies don't really look at your cover letter. Some companies will want to see your portfolio. They would want to see your LinkedIn. So please have a LinkedIn account. Some companies will want you to send a video page, telling them what you're looking to work with them, why you think you're a good fit for this role, and they want to hear about your experience and stuff like that. It could be like a 60-second video. For you to also make that happen, you have to look at your CV and also look at your cover letter. And once you go over your cover letter and go over your CV, you're suddenly reminded of things you can do and the things you've done before, and you'd be able to make that video and tell them, hey, my name is this, I've worked in this industry. I've grown the users of this company from this to this, or I've hired this number of people between this year and this year for this company. So everything is just easier when you have a cover letter that you can read from, or when you have like a document where you listed your achievements and your skills and everything. And I'm not saying it should be your CV. I mean, some of these things should be on your CV as well, but also have a document or a cover letter that details the kind of person you are when it comes to work and the things you've done before. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Cover letters are not useless. Have one, file it somewhere, keep it somewhere. Some companies will ask for it, most companies will not ask for it, but it's not a waste. So yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted you to know, and I'll see you later.